What you want if you're a guy like Urban Meyer, who was a legendary coach in college, one of the best of all time, 3 titles, winning titles with 2 teams. You cannot argue with his success in college football. Yeah. So for some reason, he thought he was going to try it in the NFL. We've discussed him on several shows. But the one thing you have to do as a coach like that who comes from college, the one most important thing you have to do is get the respect of the players in your locker room. Yeah. It is so critical because they already judge you differently. You're already a college boy, and you think you're smarter than everybody because what worked for you at Ohio State and Florida, you automatically think is going to work in that locker room with grown men, and it has no chance of working. So you got to earn respect. And what happened to Urban Meyer this past week, I don't think got him any respect in the locker room. I'm wondering if you guys think that there's any long-lasting repercussions, but here's what happened. So they played the Thursday night game in Ohio against Cincinnati, so he was in his favorite state there, his home state actually, decided to not fly back with the team, which I thought was odd. Even though he's from Ohio, has a house there, has family there, grandchildren, I thought it was weird. You'd never see that in the NFL, where a head coach doesn't fly back with the team. He didn't. He stayed back, ended up at a bar.
His bar that he owns.
Okay, right. Ended up on a bar stool that he owns, and a blonde female kind of grinding into him, which was not part of the script that night. Yeah. And it showed up on Twitter, and it went viral, and he had some explaining to do at home and in the locker room. So I guess the big question is, if you're winning, if you're Jimmy Johnson, and this happened in 1992, it'd be no big deal. People would be laughing about it and congratulating and meeting him out at the bar the next week. But for Urban Meyer, this is probably the last thing he needed. Do you think this further shows that this is it, 1 year, and he's probably out of this NFL experience?
Yeah. I didn't want to be that way. Like, I was rooting for Urban Meyer, but swag matters in the NFL, man. Like, for lack of a better term, swag matters, dude. You can't rule with an iron fist. There's no recruiting. There's no, I'm going to recruit your next guy. There's no do it my way or the highway. In the NFL, they choose the highway. They say, screw you, bro. I'm going to be here. You're not. What are you going to do? You're going to bench me, play somebody worse, and what, lose your job? They'll call a coach's bluff. So I think, when you do this, rules oriented, he leans heavy into the Christian, background, and he's, constantly talking about culture, rebuilding, own it. Yeah, and then, it's not even that he was with the girl. It was like he got clowned by the girl. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she's throwing up Snapchats like, who is this old guy? He keeps flirting with me. It's like, that's a bad look, Urban. It is a bad look. That's a bad look, man. Like,
especially for a guy who's kind of authoritative with his demeanor and the persona he wants to project. But this is a serious question. What do you think loses more credibility in the locker room? Not flying home on the team plane or getting caught on social media with that clip? It's both, but also if he was swagged out, if he was like, you could see some girl doing that to John Gruden, and John Gruden somehow turning this into his John Gruden's like, hey, I appreciate you dancing on me, but that lap's my wife. Just get over there, like, and now like he's the man. In that situation. Frank Caliendo would have a funny skit on it the very next day. And then somebody asked, but you can't get away with it. He doesn't have the collateral, the built up, the sad puppy dog with my tail between my. I let my family down. I let sad Khan down. Exactly. It portrays weakness, which is the last thing that you want to do as a head coach. He seemed weak. And Jeff, to your point, you go, what would be more disrespectful for his team is the fact that he didn't fly back with them. But now what are you going to do? Every road trip you are on, what if another assistant wants to stay back? Yeah. What if Trevor Lawrence wants to stay back?
How do you say no?
Because he has an endorsement deal, a commercial he has to shoot. How do you say no?
Remember, I said lose the locker room too, but it's probably a fine line. I agree with you on that. He should fly home and then fly back.
I'm agreeing with Tom Zenner. What's happening?
Sorry, Gerard.
I don't like it.
Hey, thanks so much for checking out that short clip from Sports Now with Tom Zenner. If you want to see another short clip, click right here. Or if you want to see the entire episode, click right here. Thanks for watching, everybody.